So it was a difficult competition for all of them, for all the student athletes in the high jump pool. It was very difficult for them. So we would have wished we gotten her a coach, or gotten everybody a coach, all the athletes that were having their individual event, their coaches to be there. But sometimes it is not just practicable to have all your athletes having their personal coaches to come on board. Let me just add one thing. When we went to Eugene, there's a facility at the World Athletics level that even though if you even exceed your quota of coaching or taking coaches accreditation, there's something we call personal coaches.
Okay.
They can give personal coaches. But in the World Athletics, the personal coaches, you pay for the accommodation, or they can opt to stay outside the games village.
Right.
But they have access to the training venue and to the competition venue.
Okay.
So what we did in Eugene 2-3 years ago was that we had Joe Paul coach, we had Deborah Aqua coach. So I paid the accommodation for them.
Okay.
For them to be in the games village.
Right.
Aside that, the one that they were given based on our quota.
You paid as in your own personal money?
No, we paid as a federation.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So we paid because we needed their personal coaches to be there.
Right.
Because at that time we knew that Deborah Aqua could get a medal. We knew that Joe Paul also needed somebody to be with him at that time. So we had the relay, we had the individual events, and Deborah Aqua. So we asked the coach if they will be able to come and support. So they came. We provided all those facilities for them to come. But this is Olympic Games that we are not involved or in charge of accreditation. What we can only do is to submit the request to the GOC for them to process that. But I can say that the time that the request came, it was simple, very late in the day for us to be able to get the accreditation. But we didn't want to dwell much on it, because if you want to dwell much on it, anytime at all somebody going to do a high jump or long jump or qualify an individual event, they will try to ask that, I want to go with my personal coach. I want to go with my personal coach. And it is not possible to do that in athletics. Okay. If you have 5 different individuals qualify in a particular event, you can't go with 5 individual coaches.
Okay.
Unless of course they go and buy their ticket.
Right.
If they buy the ticket, they will not.
They may not have
access to the training ground
or the village
or the village or even the competition grounds. Okay. Because if you see the high jump pool, where the coaches are located a space for them to sit down. If you don't have the accreditation to go there, you cannot have access there.
So it is not like it is impossible.
No, it is not impossible.
Okay.
If we have the request early enough.
Okay.
So that we can put the coach name in the system.
Right.
So when it's time for them to give accreditation, they just pull the name out. By that time, the system, there's a time that they close the system.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So we need to have the coach's name in time, add it to the long list.
Right.
When it's time for it to do the final list, then we can add the name to the final list for the accreditation.
Right. Have you spoken to any of the athletes since then?
No, I've spoken to the coach. I spoke to the captain soon after the race.
Okay. Right, let's look ahead. What are the key priorities for Ghana Athletics now, moving forward, and how do you plan to build on the lessons learned from this campaign forward, to improve future performances?
To add a little bit of what my friend said about the South African model.
Okay, so you can have a...
Sometimes the performance of an athlete in the country also depends very much on the economic strength of the country.
How?
That is true.
Yes, quite about the economic strength of the country. If your economic,
the country's willingness to support.
No.
Okay.
Because if you look at South Africa, I've been there a couple of times. The infrastructure alone in South Africa is huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the primary schools.
Yeah.
Go to
I ever watched a competition with him. Being
South
shown
Africa.
on DSTV, and they brought in
foreign athletes
from Belgium, Norway, just to compete.
Just to compete in South Africa.
Yeah.
They have fantastic.
And they were competing at a university.
University under floodlights.
Under floodlights. I went to University of Chwane, Pretoria University. They have everything. They have tracks, they have rugby, they have cricket, they have everything.
Olympic standard.
And they even have very renowned sports universities with serious research funders. So South African sports is huge. It's not only in athletics, even in swimming, even rugby, in cricket. So we, at the beginning of this year or last year, I have a meeting with the LOC and the ministry that we should send some of our top athletes to go and camp in South Africa before the African Games. Because in March, our athletes will not be ready to compete in March. But South Africa, when we have our winter or our cold, they have their summer there. That's where most of the Europeans leave Europe when it is very cold to go there and train. So that's what we plan to do. But the usual.
You see now, Europeans and Americans are doing well in long distance.
Long distance.
Yeah. They are coming down.
They move to South Africa, Kenya, train in South Africa, and Tanzania.
Very soon, Africa will lose its medals.
We are losing it.
Very systemic
deal with the Kenyan issue. Yeah.
I'm sure even if we Bawa Fuseini and co decided that let's take hampered to the Olympic Games.
In 2-3 years
Chinese
time,
will come and win medals.
All right.
So let's get back to
my take-home power was in 100 and 200 meters, not the winners.
Okay.
By the number of African athletes
that made it to the finals. Yes.
No, it was amazing.
But how many of them are training in Africa?
None
of them. A lot of them are in schools.
No, they're not in schools. Those who went to the finals are not in schools. That's what
I mean. Like got their training.
Yeah, no.
Was it not from US?
No.
Okay.
The Zambia guy who won bronze in the 400 meters, based and trained in Lusaka.
Okay.
Tobago trained and based in Botswana. Sambini trained and based in South Africa. The only guy who based and trained in US is the Liberia guy. Famboli.
Yeah. And then a Cameroonian guy.
Cameroonian guy. SBO. They are all two people, but look at their performance.
Yeah.
So what we have seen over the years is that the US system, either we go to Division 1 or at least or Division 2, we shouldn't go to the colleges.
Yeah.
The colleges, I'm not sure we're getting what
we need. It's not helping us. Yeah.
We also have to go the way of the South African or the Zambian
model
or the Tobago model. Let's find the resources here. Let's keep our athletes here. Let's train them here so that we can have the consistency.
I see what I've said. One thing I don't agree with you on is the economy. There is money in Ghana. And I'm saying this because our neighbors, Ivory Coast, was hosting AFCON. The ministry, together with government, budgeted $8 million. Are we saying that Ghana, we can't give athletics $1 million every year, boxing $1 million every year? What are we saying? There's money. We can resource Ghana athletics. What is
we just have to be deliberate about it.
That is the thing.
We just have to.
If there is money for football, there should be money for athletics and boxing. There is money.
Right. Okay. We need to be wrapping up on this conversation.
Let me. I'll wrap it.
No, I posed the last question.
Yes.
Yes. So I was asking, looking forward, what the key priorities are for Ghana athletics, and then in moving it forward, and how do we build on the lessons learned from this particular abortive campaign?
No, first and foremost, we need to fix our 4x100. That's the paramount. We need to fix whatever problem it is. We need to fix that. If it's the athletes, we talk to the athlete. If it's the coaches, we deal with the coaches. If it's the training, we deal with it. But we have, as a matter of necessity, to fix that. We can't keep on breaking Ghanaian hearts. We can't keep on breaking our own hearts. We can't keep on promising and will not deliver. We have to fix that. That is priority for us to do. And we also have to build our local base. We have to build team that will compete in Africa 2026 in Ghana here. So we are planning to send some of our athletes to High Performance Center in Dakar, Senegal. But we're also talking to University of Ghana to see whether we can have a hostel facility at the stadium so that we can also apply for the High Performance Center here. If we get High Performance Center here, we can request World Athletics or the CEA to give us a top-notch coach that will come and support us. If we're able to do that, Kenya, they have the same thing in Kenya. They have the same thing in Botswana. So if we're able to build that in addition to those going to the US, that's you mentioned somebody who is a medical doctor who has just graduated from Harvard.
Thompson.
Gavin Thompson.
America, the topmost athletes are in the topmost universities.
Yeah.
If you are not top, you can't go to the Harvard. If you are not top in athletics, your academic records are not good, you can't go. That's why they have the Division 1. Even the Division 1, there's another 12 schools among the Division 1. They are the elite among the division. They also have their own competition that they do. They frame the division, they call the Division 1 competition, nationals, and the 12 topmost American universities also have their competition alone. If your academics are not good, if your sporting time are not good, you can't be there. So that is why we have to aspire our athletes to go. They should go to the topmost universities. That's where they have more competition. That's how they have the money and the potential of them winning the nationals and winning the world championship is very, very high. So this is what I want to do. But first and foremost, we need to fix the 4x100.
Would you consider the relay competition that we talked about, like what happens in South Africa? Would you give it a thought?
To do there are a couple of competitions, relays. Even Zimbabwe, Botswana, they have a relay competition in Zimbabwe. So it's going to be part of the fixing the relay issue. Either we have to go more competition and we have consistent. Maybe the consistency is going to be the problem.
So that's why maybe we would have to localize it.
And if you're going to localize it to, this election was tough selection, but there was one guy who was missing in it, Joseph Amoa. I don't know who remember his name. Joseph Menu. Joseph Menu.
Yeah, Menu.
Yes, yeah. Joseph Menu. Yeah. He also missed out of this. And it was a lot of problems. People reported me to the minister. Even her mother came to the minister, reported me that I have decided to drop his son from the 4x100 and all sort of those things. But I explained that he was having issue with his documentation. And we even have to add letters to his document for them to be given his extension of stay in the U.S. And that time, he got the stay in the U.S. around 28th, 29th of June.
Okay.
That one similar to the Osiebo coach issue. So difficult for them to even go and request for another accreditation for him. I don't know, but we just need to fix it. I don't know how, but we have to fix it.
Let's consider introducing,
national relay championship.
National relay championship. Add it to your plans.
Yeah, no, we are considering so many.
Yeah, so we started from somewhere.
How many relays do we have? A lot. Now it's a lot. 4x400.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot.
They have the mixed relay.
They have about 6 or 7 now.
But 3 have been consistent.
Yeah.
The 4x4, the 4x100, and the
mixed relays.
So we normally have 4x2. We have 4x2 and we have 4x8. And that were the 5. When the world athletes started the world relays, it was 5 there. The 4x100, 4x4, mixed relays, 4x200, and 4x800. But now they've reduced it to 3.
Okay.
The 4x4, 4x100, and the mixed relays.
So we don't have 4x4.
Okay, so
4x4,
the president of Ghana Athletics says he's considering national relay championship for Ghana.
But national relay
championships for Ghana. That's a
But
quote. That's a quote.
So
that's a quote.
You see,
Let's move on.
I'm coming.
Okay.
You see,